but every time he's played it in competitive, I've never been convinced by it.
Yeah, I mean, it is ridiculously strong. We saw a lot of online games, but I can't really think of anything where he's really come big up in the offline events. So Shy here going to take a lot of damage from Angus, and actually we are going to see the Ignite put down by Shy onto Angus. There is the flash over. Angus going to flash in there. We're in the middle lane. Rapid Star going low. There is the first blood. We get back to the top to see Angus taking down Shy as well. What a start for Millenium in the middle lane. Yeah, Tab's going very, very low. Cloud Templar definitely not safe from this one. If a bandage toss were to land in there, would be in a little bit of trouble as Answer Fresh is getting ready for this one. And they're going for it. There is the bandage toss landing, and that was a kill. I really don't know why Cloud Temple stuck around for that one.
That was fantastic. And well, Millenium very quickly in a matter of seconds go 3-0, giving them a big gold lead early on in the lane phase. That's exactly what they needed. All those fortitude potions being drank early on have managed to pay off. You can see Angus winning out that 1v1 in the top lane. Really surprising stuff. Let's see how that one works out. You can see looking like the arm guard's maybe going to come out as the first item possibly for Shy, realizing he's going to need some armor up against Renekton.
Yeah, definitely is, especially with that kill going over there. Easy 1v1. And this is against Shy, you know. He's one of, you could even argue, the best top laner in the world. Obviously, that's always subject to opinions and different statistics, but still, you have to give all the credit to Angus for getting that good start. He's got a 10 CS lead there. Mumu ahead in the jungle with 2 kills to his name as well. In the middle lane, Diana slightly ahead, but look at Misfortune to her, got 44 to 20 CS. That is a huge lead for Misfortune, 1,700 to 1,300 gold.
Well, and you can't argue with his jet lag or anything for either team. Obviously, Millenium being a European team is going to be Tabs going aggressive on Rapid Star and just forcing him back straight away. It is a good pick, and he may well get another chunk of damage down, and Rapid Star having to chomp through them potions, and now Angus slices and dices across towards Shy, gets that ultimate, hits level 6 first, gets the stun down, manages to get us another load of damage down, and Shy just has to back away, and wow. As it is, Millenium winning out every single lane. This is boding really well for them in this first game of the quarterfinals.
Yeah, looking fantastic right now. I mean, if we'd have said which 2 teams were coming through to the quarterfinals, the Nexus and Millenium weren't the 2 that people were really thinking of as Creighton does get locked onto there by Woong. No kills coming in, and Woong really needs to put down a bit of pressure here because he's starting to fall behind in CS, and Creighton will take a massive advantage of that. Rapid Start may be put under pressure by Mumu. There was actually a ward down on that corner, so they saw, or Rapid Star saw a Mumu coming into that lane, so he should be safe as a stun. Will land onto Crids, and there's the E of Urgot. Gonna get him a couple of shots off with the lock-on. Fat Mama takes a face full as well, but so far, with that sustain, that better sustain definitely that they've got in there, especially now there's a Vamp Scepter on Misfortune, they're kind of immovable at this point.
The problem is when they start getting into the late game, who is going to be the stronger? And the thing is, Woong is going to be very tanky, so he's not going to become the target. Shy's going to build that Rumble pretty tanky, I believe. Templar always going to be tanky on. And Madlife, he's going to be a tanky support, so really Rapid Star's going to be the target. And he's not going to be too squishy, I don't think. He generally is probably going to build a bit of damage in there, but as we've seen lately, there's been quite a few Warmugs coming out in Kha'Zix. Madlife getting a little bit of poke there from Fat Mamba, but Cloud Temple looking like he's going for the invade. You can see Millenium doing the exact same thing in the top blue buff, so it is going to be passed across between the 2 mid laners. Actually, Diana going to try and get the steal while we see Madlife going in for this one.
Here we go, Cloud Templar coming in from that side. Can they get in? There's the position reverse as Fat Mamba going to get tied down. Nicely done from Woong.
Yeah. It's a very good bit of play there. That's what they have to be careful of. I'm so fresh back in towards the top lane. Shy is going to try and keep damage down on Angus. I'm so fresh, sat waiting in that bush. Is he going to be able to get a chance? But it doesn't look like Shy's going to give any opportunity for a free bandage toss to come across to him. He's kind of close, kind of baiting it in, and don't realise that he's got close enough to the turret. The bandage toss does come in, doesn't quite catch on to him because of the sad mommy goes down. Equalizer used out. Angus is getting taken down very low. Which is when he gets Stand United. Is it going to be the right time? He gets 1, he gets 2! And that is a great turnaround from Frost.
That was somewhat unfortunate, I think we can say, from Millenium coming in there, managing to get that close to the sad mummy down. And the great thing was the equalizer from Shy hit both of them full on there. And without that, I think that could have gone a very different way. So really nice turnaround by Frost in the end. Obviously, Stand United from Cloud Temple as well. You've got to say, really on point in that fight.
And that's one of the things you got to realize. You got to remember that they have that, and it's a danger to dive, especially that time when they knew the junglers were at level 6. They knew they'd just taken away that blue buff. And like you mentioned, Cloud Templar, he baited it out just long enough to help Shy before he died, because he was very low on health before that happened. But Stan United was just enough, realizing they could gauge out that time. Bullet time used to clear out that wave, and that does mean that they are going to back away and possibly reset that lane. As it stands, it looking like Dragon may well get started out here by Frost.
Yeah, going for one here, 9 minutes 55 into the game. Can't really see that Millenium will be able to challenge to this one. Diana is coming down, but this is a 5-man Dragon push at this point. That's going to be taken down. Nicely done from Frost. That gives them a 500 gold lead. It's definitely not a massive one at this point. But one thing I want to touch on again is that bottom lane, Neiman, because we talked about the massive advantage that Misfortune had. It's not that big anymore.
And one thing I want to touch on is I'm So Fresh's build. He's got Spirit of the Spectral Wraith. He's got ability power on a Moo in that jungle. So 50 ability power, 10% cooldown reduction, 10 mana regen, as well as the spell vamp that he gives. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen that in competitive play so far, but we are seeing it here on Home Suppression as a Moo, and why not? Seems to be AP a Moo. It seems back from the jungle.
Well, I mean, it fits into, you know, how a Mumu, what a Mumu really needs anyway. So, good item for him there. We'll see how it all works out in the
I'm going to point it out. Good spot from Jason, because he pointed that out for me. So he was on the ball on that one. I hadn't noticed it. Tabs, though, taking the damage in the mid lane. Rapid Star is managing to keep him, but Tabs just shields that off. Rapid Star at the moment having a torrid time against Tabs in that mid lane.
Now we have Urgot with a Giant's Belt Brutalizer coming back into this lane. As I said about the CS, it's come right back even after Misfortune had that such great time. That kill obviously really helping things out as well. And his 400 gold lead now for Urgot, which is exactly the amount earlier on that Creatine was up. In the top lane, Seeker's Anglon, Sorcerer Shoes for Rumble, Hex Drinker, Doran's Blade, and the Ruby Crystal coming out for Renekton. Shy still needs to be careful up there.
3-3 currently, and we're just coming up to the 12-minute mark. See, Dragon picked up, does keep that gold fairly equal because Millenium took that first turret of the game in the top lane. So where are they going to rotate round to? Are we going to see a possible move? Position reversal on towards Kratos, but it didn't really develop too much. They do get the lockdown. Crescendo comes across. Here comes Cloud Templar with a great shadow dash and keeps it locked in place. I'm So Fresh coming round. House punished to pop cuts the sad mommy. Tabs comes in. He's going to get the move ball. Woong's in all sorts of trouble here. He's going to get dropped, but not before he takes down Fat Mama. And now they're on towards Cloud Templar. But here comes Rapid Star jumping around on towards Tabs, gets the voice spikes down. Can he lay the damage down? They're not managed to be separated. And here comes Angus. Can he catch on towards Rapid Star? Rapid Star has to use his ultimate, flashes back, tries to use the voice spikes to stop him now, but Angus on towards the turret, comes in, picks up the kill. Nicely done there. And Millenium countering the aggression of Frost every step of the way.
Yeah, Millenium really impressive to turn that one around. 2 for 2 in the end, leaves us tied up still on the kills, but Millenium have now a 2-0 turret lead, top and bottom. Outer turret's taken out. Shy gonna try and counter that with a turret of his own, but Misfortune will come up into this top side. Crichton is 2 levels behind Shy there, so he knows that he can't really afford to be going head to head with him. His Anguish getting caught out there in the jungle. Templar, though, definitely not in a position item-wise to take him out.
Well, that's 2 in 2 plays that Woong has created with that hyperkinetic position reverser, so clearly he's in the wrong place sometimes. God. Desperation moves there as we try to fill some little bit of air. Kratos now coming up towards this top lane, and there's the equalizer going straight down from Shy, and look at the damage coming out from Shy. He's just destroyed him where he stood.
I said about 30 seconds ago that he definitely doesn't want to get involved there, being 2 levels lower than Shy. Well, in the end, they got kind of caught out, but Millenium going to be taking away that blue buff. Can they close in? Actually, Shy going to back completely away from that, but nicely done from Millenium. They're going to be denying that blue buff, although, no, it's not as important from Frost's side of that blue buff there, but you still never want to lose it.
We do see Rapid Star's going to try and steal his own one back. Has warded out the blue buff. He is going to be up in a moment. Remember, they did take it themselves a moment ago. It's just 1,000 gold between them. Still 2 towers down, which actually does mean, obviously, the kills score in favour of CJ Entus Frost there. But the farm-wise, it's actually fairly even, but apart from the Anguish really done very well in that lane against Shy. Shy, honestly, is one of the players that I would put as the best top laner in the world. And Anguish has stood toe-for-toe with him, no problem at all on Renekton versus Rumble as it stands. I'm just seeing where Millenium are going to run to. Are they going to go in towards Rapid Star? Nope, doesn't look like they're going to be able to collect on Twin.
Yeah, but this outer turret in the middle lane is that last outer turret remaining, and that's going to be a prime target for Millenium. It's already very low. Down to, let me have a click here, down to 479 HP, so really high target value at this point. Get that one down, get the vision advantage over Frost if they didn't already have it already, of course, and then see what they can push on from there. Millenium not lost the turret at this point. They're 600, 700 gold in the lead 15 minutes into this one. This is exactly how they need to start it. I mean, I kind of had the fear that if Millenium went down fast in game number 1, it was going to be a fast 2-0. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. Wham
bam, thank you ma'am. Gold difference is shown on your screen. You can see 600 gold between the AD carries. It's the 600 gold to the AP carry of Tabs currently as well in that mid lane. Top lane pretty much even, despite the fact they have that difference, of course, because he has that kill advantage, and they are going to take away their own blue buff. We can see that CJ Entus Frost going to go in for this one, but I'm So Fresh catches on towards Shy. Equalizer comes back out. Shy going aggressive here. I'm So Fresh, he's not tanky. They flashed across, but they completely got duped themselves. Like, can they catch on towards the Dazzle? Will come out. It's going to be Fat Man he catches onto. Meanwhile, Creaton's getting taken down by Wook. Wook going to try and 2v1 them here. Does manage to get one. Angus back on towards him. Here comes his support. Madlife gets in towards him. Gets that ultimate running. It means that it's going to be the armor buff, and they're going to catch on towards Angus. Dazzles him back out there. Angus in all sorts of trouble. Can he get away from this one though? Madlife going to continue through, try and tank it up. No! He gets away, and it's just a 1-for-0 crazy exchange, but the blue buff was won by Rapid Star.
Yeah, and that was really nice positioning again from Woong. I mean, he was 2v1 for most of that fight, but obviously at this point, with that tankiness that he's got in there, has the damage advantage over creating the bullet time, not really doing all that much damage to him at this point, as we are going to see So Fresh coming in here onto that middle lane, will be able to protect his turret. There goes the Kirsten side mum, and they're going to dive straight in on towards Shy. Absolutely destroyed. Can they get themselves another one? Wow, Kazak's actually picking one off. The Dragon has been taken by Frost while this is all going on, but they're losing men for it.
Yeah, that's a good turnaround from Millenium, coming straight back at them. They did only go 1-for-0, went straight to the fountain, straight back down that mid lane, picking up the third turret of the game. So, can't believe I'm saying this, but Millenium 3-0 in turrets against a Korean team called CJ Entus Frost. None other than third place Season 2 World Finals, OGN, Summer Champions, and wow. And of course, they were finalists as well before. Not take that away from them. They have been a fantastic team, but they are up against it here. And the European non-LCS team of Millenium is really giving them a run for their money here in the quarterfinals. It shows that Millenium, since Sao Paulo, have been in their training camp, really working up for these World Championships.
Well, it's really just great to see that Europe is so strong in terms of League of Legends. You know, the teams that aren't even in LCS, the two teams that have, you know, come this far, outside of Gambit, obviously, we can't forget them, they're already in the semi-final, but Nexus and Millenium, that just shows how strong the European scene is right now, when the 8 teams from LCS aren't even involved, again, outside of Gambit, but they've done so well. They've been so impressive, and it seems like they've woke up nice and early today and got things ready to go with this one, because they're looking really hot on the start.
Well, I've been really impressed with Tabs' Diana in this mid lane. He's been putting down a dominant performance. There's a lot of hit points going on towards I'm So Fresh here. Shy looks like he's getting aggressive to go for Oats Anguish. Is he going to be enough? He's going to come straight around there, just pressuring him away. He's not going to use that equalizer, so it's just simply a case of, get out of my lane, please. I don't want to kill you completely. Madlife may be coming up, but they have to be careful, because I'm So Fresh is nearby. Now he's going to go aggressive on towards Angus. Has he baited him enough, though? He's going to have the Ignite running. Madlife has to use his ultimate. They just dazzle up I'm So Fresh and run the hell away. Rapid Star heading up the river as well. I think that's purely going to be cover. Void Spikes will just be there as defensive slowdown.
Yeah, and Shy again, getting very low, goes in towards Angus. Yeah, I'm So Fresh is probably going to try and steal this one away. See the ward just put down there. Moo will have spotted that one, but will he risk going in for it in the end of this one? Millenium at this point are still pushing down that middle lane, and Woong probably screaming at this point, we need help in that middle. But Millenium back away from it, not wanting to risk anything, and rightly so. They've got that lead, but it's still very slim.
Yeah, good timing by Cloud Templars, just cleared out the jungle. That's what Millenium were looking to get in and just hoover up all of that jungle experience while they pushed Cloud Templar Frost and everyone else up towards the top there. They could Can't leave this mid lane open though. Look, you can see Frost, they want their first turret of the game. Need to try and take away some of that map vision. They have a lot of wards placed out, so they're making sure they keep a good glimpse at that river. They have not given up on these turrets just yet. Cloud Templar trying to keep the split push going, trying to get that farm started off here. That's exactly what he's going to be doing for their outbow, but I'm So Fresh, his opposition jungler at 4-1-2, has been the creator of every opportunity, and you can see him again looking to go on rapid start.
Well, one thing that Millenium need to be worried about is the fact that Cloud Templar now is getting stronger and is really starting to push these lanes out. Once he got that Sunfire Cape in there, went down to that bottom lane, pushing the entire time. But can Frost actually pick anything up here? We see Creaton just clearing out that bottom lane. At the same time, Frost pushing with 3 men up the middle lane. They know that Diana can just dive straight in onto that crescendo with the flash can come out of Fat Mama, so they need to be still wary about this one, but they are going to be looking to take that turret down in the end. So Fresh comes in from the side, actually gets stunned up in the end. Is he going to be able to get Curse to the side? Mummy down, yes he does. Mad Life getting caught there at the side. Tab's going to dive in onto him. Meanwhile, Shy being focused down by Angus. They are going to see the crescendo finally come out. There comes the bullet time. Creaton is going to drop as Kha'Zix jumps away. Can they get any more kills in this one? So Fresh still very low as Shen comes in from the side. Wound going low. It's Tabs that picks that one up. He's now on the killing spree. Have they got the health and damage to finish off Cloud Templar as well? As Rapid Start comes in from the side. The heal not quite saving them. Angus may now fall. There's a flashing from Shy, who gets the double at the end.
Would you believe it? Just as Millenium thought they were going to turn this one around, CJ Entus Frost managed to throw it back in their face, and Rapid Star managed to get away on nothing in the start of that fight and really just came back and kept the damage from range. Used those voice boys, came back in, picked up another kill, and it allowed Shy, because it pulled all of Millenium's attention. They'd suddenly turned and said, oh, we can get a kill on Rapid Star. No, because they forgot about Shy. He had that flame spitter running the entire time and just motored on through there. So Shy doing a hell of a lot of damage now with their Haunting Guys on, and that's really drove his gold up as well. You can see now Frost managing to take the gold lead now, despite the fact they are 2 turrets behind. So when those 2 turrets go down, there's going to be a big shift in gold.
Yeah, and we've already seen some of these items come out there. Giant's Belt picked up by Rumble on that last trip home. We have the Glacial Shroud, Kindle Gem, Giant's Belt, and the Brutalizer now in there for Urgot as well. Misfortune on the other hand, Bloodthirster is now finished, still has that CS lead, but obviously he's way behind in terms of the kills. In terms of gold, actually is almost 1,000 behind at this point of things. So BF sword picked up as well by Kha'Zix, and a long sword as well. So just generally that last fight really giving Frost an edge, which, you know, a team like Frost will look to get that advantage and then really drive it home and make a bigger advantage.
Down the bottom position, hyperkinetic position reverse, on towards Tabs. There's Cloud Templar, gets the Shadow Dash, taunts on towards him. Can he get towards the turret? Yes, he will. Cloud Templar's going to continue to dive this one. Tab's going to try and turn it on the turret. Puts the Moonfall down. Can he get away from this one? No, he can't, because here comes Shy. There has been in tanking. Mad Life trying to get away from it. Shy picks up the kill down the bottom there, no surprise, and Mad Life going to get caught out. The bandage toss comes through. Mad Life in all sorts of trouble, but he's just pulling the entire team with him, and it's taken them so long to kill that support.
Yeah, it took him a big while, that's for sure. As Kha'Zix Rumble coming up to this middle lane. In the meantime, there's the equalizer coming down.
Oh my word.
Wow, that was full on range there. Sona going down to it. Didn't really expect it as they came through. In the meantime, Urgot and Shen are pushing that bottom lane, but at what cost here? We can see 3 from Millenium. They're tanking up this middle inner turret. They should be able to have this one away before anyone can react from Frost.
Home guard boots running in. You can see there's going to be Frost. They may well get the turret, but they're going to have to turn and burn here. Can Cloud Templar catch up towards So Fresh? No, he is going to back away. The one thing I would question for Millenium, while they are at 14-10 in kills and pretty close in gold, they have a couple of towers themselves, is the fact that 5-1-4 on I'm So Fresh. How much is that going to help when we start getting to the late game? Having that jungler effectively being the strongest killer on the game. I'm not too sure. Maybe those kills would have been better off giving up to Creaton, because Creaton is struggling for gold right now in comparison to Woong. You can see there's a 1,000, 1,200 gold difference between them. And in fact, junglers-wise, despite the fact he is 5-1-4, Cloud Templar at 3-1-8 is still up with him in gold. And the top lane is where the difference is starting to show now. Shy becoming incredibly strong at 6-2-4. That gold difference already starting to tell.
Yeah, it's almost a given that Shy is gonna get stronger and stronger and stronger as this game goes on. Doesn't matter who he's playing. He's been so good already here at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships. There is a blue buff gonna be taken away by Rapid Start. Pink ward's coming down from Fat Mama around the Baron, so they're obviously a little bit concerned about how that one goes. There comes Shy in there, gets a harpoon off. Does have that Crystal Scepter now finished off as well, so it's going to make it even harder to be escaping if someone goes head-to-head against Shy, or even in those team fights as well.
They're out of position. They've tried to... They were getting drawn towards the top lane there. Cloud Templar pulling them towards it, but Frost immediately coming piling up that mid lane, and they're going to react to this one. I'm so fresh going to come from the side.
He is going to come from the side. Can they land that combo? Because of the sad bullet time that we've talked about, which has not been successful against the Korean teams. Quite simply, it's their strategy, you know. It's usually the case that whoever comes out and can execute it brilliantly doesn't really get screwed over by it later on. Let's say you know how to play against it when that's really your one of your big strategies to play with. There's Kha'Zix from the side. Shen taking the top turret.
Great maneuvering from Frost there. They knew exactly. They caught a glimpse. So as soon as Angus went down, they all backed away as four managed to keep them at bay. Void Spikes just kind of baited them, toying with them at the top, and Cloud Templar still having the chance to continue farming and split pushing that top lane. They've all been completely drawn away from the top lane now, and still Frost keep continuing to toy with them, poking him with the Void Spikes, keeping them at bay. Now they're going to be telling Templar, okay, get out, you've managed to buy your time. And well, you can see the moment they all pile up there, they're running around as a five. They're not sure how to deal with this at the moment. Cloud Templar again is continuing on the top lane. A flash brought out there, trying to keep them at bay. And again, they're just toying with the Mad Life. It was the one that flashed away, just a bomb there. That top turret is already down to half health, the inner turret.
Well, that's how you play a split push.
It's
I mean, they're doing it so well at this point. Millennium obviously have no teleport in there. They have no one that can move straight through when required, and they've sent Angush up there mainly, I think, because he quite frankly needs a bit of farm at this point. He's going to have that, but he also needs to be involved in these fights should they kick off. Frost doing a fantastic job of making that one happen there, but Millennium starting to push things back down this middle lane. They need to be real careful. They've got good vision on their side of the map, which is something that a lot of teams neglect to do once they start to lose those outer turrets. But you know, Millennium have to get some credit for that one. What are they going to go for? It looks like they're going to try and sandwich the two men down in this bottom lane. Are they going to get in there, though? Angush and I'm So Fresh coming down that bottom side. Tabs just going to be taking down the golems, and they are headed down here, but they're not going to get any kills, at least for now.
Yeah, you can see Cheyenne was sat ready and waiting along with Rapid Star. Say, what of it? You're going to try and dive the turret at us? We are ready and waiting. Come at us, bro.
Yeah.
And they didn't manage to go for it. As it stands, Frost again, that four-man defense, keeping five-men Millennium at bay, while Shy goes back in that top lane and continues to get stronger and stronger. He's got that Aegis of the Legion. Runic Bulwark will be coming out shortly, and that's going to slow and lower that damage. I'm So Fresh has been putting out there. The fact that he got that ability power early on. He's getting a Runic Bulwark of his own, might add there, but Tabs has really been the one for me so far for Millennium. He's been creating great opportunities, obviously with the help of I'm So Fresh every time he comes out there. He's been playing very well here, and he's going to have to keep their wits about them here, because as we move into the end game, you know, CJ enters Frost. They've managed to go toe-for-toe with Evil Geniuses many times in that late game. They have proven to be one of the very best at team fights late game.
Yeah, that's the real danger that Millennium are going to have in this against such a brilliantly amazing team here. CJ Frost are. You're going to see Oracle picked up by Mad Life. He sticks a ward on the backside, clears out the vision that Millennium had in there. How this one's going to go. Top lane, actually, Cloud Templar and I'm So Fresh just kind of a bit of a bashing match up there. Obviously, both with those Sunfire capes on. Actually, good damage coming out of I'm So Fresh, and that's what that AP can really do for you coming forward. Obviously, the cooldown reduction helping him as well will allow him to keep on top of Cloud Templar in this situation as a bandage toss going to be flashed away from.
Yeah, he had to get out of that one and realised that he can't quite fight it.
Baron
That's forced him away there, but they can go for Baron. He can back away as well, and he can just stand United back in. Do they realise that they're on Baron? Rapid Star is a long way away. He showed himself down the bottom there, and they're going to take this one down quick enough. He's down to half health already. Mad Life does come around. He's got that Oracle. He's actually positioned himself in a really tricky situation, because they have flash on towards Woong. Woong flashes straight out there, but here comes Stan United. Can they turn his back on towards them? You can see Cloud Templar. He wants to go. Shadow Dash on towards Tabs. Tabs completely caught out. Zony's Hourglass goes down, but he's only a matter of time. He's going to get dropped, and he slowly but surely takes him down. He managed to survive a little longer than I thought he would. But, well, just completely caught out of position there. They thought they were the ones doing the manoeuvring, but really they were being toyed with by Cloud Templar Frost.
Yeah, and here we see inner turret going to go down. They can probably have this inhibitor turret as well. I mean, they're strong enough to fight underneath this tower the way that they are. As I'm So Fresh comes in, here comes the full combo from really Millenium. If this doesn't work, then surely nothing will. Angush is going to get a 1 kill on towards Kha'Zix, but Shy is in there, ripping him to pieces with that flame spitter. Double kill for him. Angush comes out, he gets a double kill of his own as he turns back around on towards Woong. There is the finisher from Woong. Angush going to go very low. This is going to be the ace for CJ Entus Frost.
Well, Woong proving that two Woongs do make a right, and he does take down the turret in that mid lane. Shy did a double kill as well. And yeah, I had to get it in. You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. I told you before we started. And Frost, 19-12 up, 6,000 gold advantage, and they are 4-4 in turret. So turning that aggression of Millenium back around on them. A 9-2-6 now the score for Shy. He is playing a majestic, I think is the right word for Rumble, maybe. And probably proving another champion that needs banning against him, because, you know, you take away Singed, he switches to Rumble.
This is the point that a lot of people made to me on Twitter. Yes, it's like, you've got to ban Singed. Then you've got this big list where you've got to ban that, and then he picks something else. Well, next game you've got to ban that. Then he just goes around in circles and takes them all.
Yeah.
And that's the real problem that teams have here. With only 3 bans, you've got to use them very, very wisely in these level of games. One thing I want to mention, that whole peel-off from Baron there would have worked so much better for Millenium if they had the Shurelya's Reverie in there. They could have nailed them at the start before we saw the Stan United coming down. But obviously that's all ifs and buts at this stage. Frost getting the ace after that. They are 5,000 gold in the lead. Baron is still up for the taking, which is kind of welcome for Millenium, I think, at this point of the game, because that is their opportunity to bring things back to level.
We see the Bloodthirster completed by Rapid Star. Rapid Star not really been that pivotal yet, but he has been managing to create opportunities. Oh, Madlife getting caught out by Angus here, and he's going face check straight in there. That's the danger of placing those wards on your own. Often we see them with effectively a security guard, and now Shy kind of with him as the bouncer heading towards Angus, and may well catch him out here. You can see Angus in that tri-bush, and they're going to come in. Rapid Star's also going to check Jose on here. If he can land the harpoon and get the slowdown, yep, slice and dice from Angus, gets him away.
Mortius finished off here for Angus before he came in towards his top side. What else have we got finished? Leandra's needlessly large rod for Shy. That just showed you how strong he's got in these last few minutes, as we are seeing Frost starting off that Baron. Are they going to keep doing it? There are wards in the back, and actually they're going to peel away. The bandage shot's very close to landing there, and that is one position where you can't allow that Millenium to come combo to come down on you, because, well, you're stuck between a rock and a very hard place, that place being, of course, Baron. He's going to be doing damage while you go as well. But we are seeing, as per usual, Shen pushing that bottom lane out. Let's see if they can actually lock him down this time. Creator and I'm So Fresh going to come in, and I'm So Fresh makes the call. Let's not go for it. Ward's taken away. They've all moved away from Baron, and that is like the most perfect positional play from CJ Frost. Shen goes down, Miss Fortune and the Mumu come over, and Shen comes into the fight, and they say, right then, Baron.
It was almost a what the hell are you doing? Why did you just take your jungler and AD carry down to that bottom lane? It's about to go down. Are they going to go in for this one? It's going to be picked up by Frost, and now they get a hyperkinetic position. Real first onto I'm So Fresh, pulling him in. So Kirsten the Sad Mommy hits the entire team. Not good at all what Woong was thinking there, but they get the kill nevertheless. Kraton goes down. They jump in through. Rapid Star on towards him. Fat Mama goes down. Woong picks that one up. There's another one going down. It's another double kill for Shy. He continues to pick up the kills. They're maybe going to pursue Angus, but instead they're just going to turn straight towards the inhibitor.
Yeah, push. That's all they need to do right now. I mean,
Woong's not letting him go.
Yeah, Woong doesn't want to let him go, obviously. He's going to go straight in there, and he spots Angus.
You can't fight him. You can't duel him, Angus. He's too strong right now. Urgot is in far too strong a position, and Angus, what on earth? He's trying to think he can slow him down. I don't know whether he thought he could go solo against Woong now with the Baron buff and how tanky he is. That was just a straightforward error of judgment, and now honestly, with the ace, a delayed ace as well, I think Frost can just run through and finish this off.
Yeah, Angus really there. I think giving them pretty much the last chance at Millenium. Actually, Frost are going to back away from this one. That's because that's a speedy little Amumu coming out. Bandage toss jumped away from by Rapid Star. And you were talking about the whole switching Amumu into the team to allow him to pull off the curse that's had momentum. I actually don't think that was a bad call out of Frost, because bullet time was nowhere near them. Crescendo was nowhere near them when they did that. So it kind of stopped that whole combo that Millenium are really going for.
Yeah, it's No. Maybe it was the right move. I mean, they came out with an ace.
Reading into it far
They came out with an ace, so you can't deny that. That's for sure. So as it is, a very strong Frost now. After having, honestly, a shaky start. They were 3-0 down. It was looking very good for Millenium at the start, but as I mentioned, once you start moving into that late game, we're at the 34-minute mark, so you may even argue we're not completely in the late game yet, but there's quite a few end game items completed, so it's fair to say both teams with a lot of gold right now, but it's a 10,000 gold lead for Frost. They are 6-4 up in turrets after being 3-0 down in turrets. They have turned this around just after fight, and it's really been Shy that's been instrumental in picking up those kills, doing the damage. He's at 11-8 right now, 13,100 gold as compared to Angus's, just closing in on the 10,000 gold mark. So 3.2k gold difference between just those two laners, and that is a big problem, because Angus, as we just saw, can't even go toe-for-toe with Woong. He's no chance of doing that. He needs the help now, and the AD carries are at a strong point where you don't want to be in that position, and maybe if someone was to catch him, certainly if Shy was to go one-on-one with Kraton would be dead.
Yeah, and that's why Urgot, you know, during that phase where he was like banned or picked the entire time, that's why he is so strong, because he can put out a ridiculous damage, but also he's ridiculously tanky at the same time, which don't really have from most of the other AD carries in the game right now. Either way, Frost pushing in towards this inner turret. Cloud Temple pushing still in that bottom lane with Shen, doing exactly as he's been doing this entire game. He's pulled Diana away from him this time around, and Shen just says, well, Diana's backing off, so you know you're going to have 5 there. I'm just going to keep pushing it through.
They keep on poking. Cloud Temple are about to start working on towards that inner turret, the next wave that comes in. CJ Entus, Frost are just knocking on the top door and waiting to see whether Millenium are going to answer. We do see Tabs coming out with those boots on, charging in towards the top turret. Didn't quite want to go for it though, didn't fancy it. Fat Mama, maybe we could see a flash crescendo come out here. Nope, nothing going to come from that one. We do see I'm So Fresh is ready and waiting. He's charged up, he's got his home guard boots ready and waiting. Is he going to come dashing out? Maybe they're going to have to defend out this turret. They realise obviously they're up against the Baron team, so they don't want to go for it. Here comes I'm So Fresh, so the rest of his team not in position to react though, so he came charging out with the home guard boots ready to engage. Nobody else was there.
Yeah, I think he was like screaming as he ran in towards that fight, and the rest of his team just ran back towards the fountain like, what are you doing? That was the perfect. We're going to do that.
But no.
Yeah, not quite. Oh, we are going to see the position reversing coming in. Creaton actually will flash away from that one, but can they finish him off here? Look at the damage coming out of Frost. Bullet time going to do nothing to them. I'm So Fresh goes down. Double kill coming out. Shy pops his Zhonya's with about 0 health remaining. Obviously dies straight away after that one. Tab's going to pop his Zhonya's. He's going to die. And this is going to be the pentakill. Amazing stuff from Woong there. And what a finisher. We saw one in the LCS from Bjergsen. Penta to finish the game. But that's what we were talking about. Urgot so strong. 12-11. First match going to be going over to CJ Entus Frost.
Well, proving that he's always in the Woong place at the right time. You used it earlier. I had to get it in there. There it is. It's going to be CJ Entus Frost taking it 1-0. This is a best of 3, remember, but a great turnaround despite the early pressure from Millenium. We're going to, of course, go over to our analyst desk. It is going to be Jarrett Kale. Alongside him is Quickshot and Panky.